Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel on this beautiful July the 17th, 2024. It is 10:41 a.m. I hope everybody's doing great. I have a lot of distractions around me, too much noise, so you're gonna see a little bit of cutting in and out, and that's to avoid the algorithm hitting me with strikes. So anyway, I want to welcome everyone back. I hope everybody is doing great. It's been a while, and I hope that everybody is keeping a watch as to what's going on. I hope that everybody is looking at the things that are happening, and I hope that you're taking notes and identifying the reality versus the deception. I stand firm on when I say that the name of the game is deception, and they want everything around us to matter above yourself. They want you to pay attention to anything and everything other than yourself and your surroundings. They want to catch you off guard. Nonetheless, I am going to stick with my cheese and my coffee, because in reality, it's astonishing the things that I'm looking at, both here and there. There's something very sinister going on here, and I couldn't put my finger on it. But I'm looking at it, but I can't identify it. Then all of a sudden, I started to see all over the place, change is coming. Get ready for the change. Prepare for the change. Okay. We have a woman running for governor of the island. The statehood is falling apart, and 8 years ago I spoke about this, and it's like I've been telling everybody, in order for the island to qualify for statehood, you would have to unincorporate the island. That means you would have to abolish the laws that are already in the books. As long as those laws are in the book and they are being observed, the island stands no chance. Then we learned that in 1983, the island qualified for Chapter 9 bankruptcy. After that, the island was exempt from Chapter 9 bankruptcy. You need to understand what has been happening and how they have been doing away with certain things. We're a colony. We're not absolutely anything other than a colony. The island of Puerto Rico is part of the United States and territory of the United States when it's convenient, and is an associated state and affiliation, and we're Americans for when it is convenient. They have been playing this card for a very long time. Yet, you need to go to the books. When we go to the books, we find out why the island is in the predicament that it is. Everything here is like if you were in a third world country, even though you are dealing with the American dollar. It feels like you're in a third world country. When you go to a doctor's office, it feels like you're not in let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. You can't book an appointment here. It doesn't work that way. You get served as you come. I have a dentist about 4 houses down my house. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, you see people lining up and signing a piece of paper. The situation with the medical care here on the island is so unreal that as a medical practitioner, the only thing I can say is, Father, Yahuwah, have mercy on these people. Because once you fall victim to their madness, there's no turning back. There is no turning back. When you confine a mind to believe a lie, there's no turning back. None, unless that individual has seen that there's something not right and chooses to seek it out. Within the last few months, I have learned that the things that are happening have nothing to do with money, have absolutely nothing to do with individuals, but have a lot to do with sequestering the attention, the mind, into going along and taking away the ability to defend, to think, and to act for one's self, relying on people that do not have your best interest at heart. And that's when I started to see that, I started to say to myself, hold on a second, I have to take a second look at this, because I'm looking at things that I can't explain. I'm looking at behaviors that are completely they do not belong in that environment. I'm looking at dictatorships among the educational system, where parents are subjected to the rules of the school. We're not your subjects. Where parents are being disrespected and their children are being mistreated. Because the way you treat me is the way you're going to treat my child. There's just no two ways to look at this. It's a foreshadow of what is to come. I'm looking at people damning themselves by their actions, by their conduct, by their moral standards. And it's truly shameful. It's disturbing to see two people shopping in the same exact store, and you see one with a demon sticking up her ass that she thinks that she's better than everybody that's there. You're shopping in the same effing place. How are you better than everybody else? You drive in a Tesla, but you're shopping at Walmart. Hello. Is there something like wrong with that? Okay, then you should know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at people discriminating against other people, discriminating against children with disabilities and problems such as autism and everything else, and then trying to tell me that my son It's going to be okay. But you're mistreating him. I started to pay attention to things that when I look back, I never seen, not even with my own children that I raised, never seen that in the USA. I'm looking at things here that do not exist in the USA. But we want to be Americans. But we're already Americans. But we want a status. But we can't even treat our own correctly. The youth is dying young on the streets without no hope, and we don't care. People are literally being targeted and used, and we don't see it, to adhere their agendas, and we don't see it. What I'm looking at, it's not a network. When I was coming into the work field or the workforce, you were networking with people. It's how we connected. You know? I needed services. I would speak to another parent that had the same exact problem as I did and could help me get the resources that I need to open that level of assistance. That's how it was. When I started to learn about autism and I started to come out of that major depression that I went through, that I was blaming myself. Maybe it was something I did, and could I have it avoided? I remember that my biggest support was being around other parents that were going through the same thing, because I didn't feel alone. And I can ask them questions because they were experiencing things that I might not at that point be experiencing, but sooner or later along the road I knew that I was going to encounter something similar. So it was very important for me to have that level of communication where I am able to express my needs and what I'm seeking and get to the bottom of my concern on a successful level where I can feel empowered and in control, instead of having the situation controlling me through my emotions, which is what often happens. And that's when we break apart. Because after all, there's nothing more terrifying than the unknown and the uncertainty of not knowing what is the cause or the root of a particular problem. And when we're dealing with these particular things, it's not just one thing, it's a combination of a lot of things. Therefore, it requires a level of knowledge and a level of looking and seeking to be able to satisfy the quest that you're seeking based on your own experience and what you're going through, to be able to seek that level of understanding, to be able to learn to control the situation and manage it. Nonetheless, it goes for just about everything. But over here, there's no such thing as networking. Over here is buddy-buddy. I have to be your friend. Well, I'm sorry. My neighbor is not my friend. My neighbor is my neighbor. The teacher is not my friend. She's my son's teacher. We have a level of respect and a level of understanding, and we are collaborating together. The cashier that rings my groceries is not my friend. I did not grow up with this privilege that you're my friend and you gotta do for me, or I didn't grow up with that privilege of me expecting something from people. I do something for you, you do something for me, and we watch each other's back. That's not practical. Not in my eyes. It's not productive either. Not in my eyes. Not according to my experience. That's something that friends do. Lately, within the last 4 to 5 months, I have had to put my hands down or in front of me, and I had to say, hold on one second. I'm sorry. If what I'm about to say makes you feel uncomfortable, but if it does, then you need to examine yourself, because I'm not here to be a friend. I'm here looking after the interests and the benefits of my son. My interest is my son. I'm not here to be your friend, because at the end of the day, I don't trust you. And at the end of the day, you need to gain my trust. So I'm sorry if I'm offending everyone and I seem to be a outcast. I'd rather be an outcast. I don't want your friendship. I want your respect. Because that's what I grew up with. My friends are my friends. But my friends respect me. My neighbor is my neighbor. But my neighbor respects me. We cannot have a friendship. We cannot have absolutely nothing without respect. And if I cannot have your respect, then I really cannot do any type of business with absolutely anybody that cannot respect me. It is what it is. It's respect above all, because it's a moral compass. We do not betray people. You are an individual. Your schooling, your experience, your skills are yours. You learn them. My experience, my skills, my schooling is mine. We are two separate individuals. Why do I need to compete with the next person? And why should I feel threatened that the next person has the capability of taking my job? What is happening here? Because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at people that serve no threat whatsoever, all of a sudden becoming a threat. And all of a sudden what was praised before as a strong-minded woman now is being shamed. And they want to use weaknesses against people. And that's not going to fall. And that's not rocking with me. Can't use my weaknesses against me. Nor can you use the weaknesses of the corner hooker against her, because she knows who she is. What you need to do is you need to pray for her. And pray that you don't fall in the same shoes. That's it. Can't cast a stone. Often those that cast the stone often fall under the stone. Since when am I better than anybody else? She's got the same capability as me. She can recognize her path and empower herself with that great testimony of overcoming that and seeking a way out where you no longer need to degrade your body that way. That is power in my eyes. Why would I degrade anybody like that? I would want to learn from someone like that. But that's me. I'm a different kind of species. I don't belong in this world because I'm not down with these people. Nor am I willing to get paid to act out deception on other people. No, I'm going to warn you and I'm going to tell you the truth. No ifs, buts about it. I'm not down with 99.9% of the things I'm looking at. Therefore, I got to sit down. I refuse to participate. I refuse to participate. You want to condemn yourself? Go right ahead. I'll pray for you. I pray that my Heavenly Father has mercy on you. I'd rather cry every night than to be a part of this madness. I'd rather be an outcast and be alone than to be a part of this madness. After all, I went looking for a plumber and I came home with a litter pack. So my Heavenly Father is definitely telling me something. Do not pay attention to the pigs and do not throw the pearls at the pigs, because in reality they're going to bring me down. There's nothing I can do for these people. I got to keep my sanity. Seriously, these principalities think they own schools, they own people. They think they're gods, that they can choose who lives and who dies and who goes and who gets suppressed and who succeeds. It's not about a job anymore. It's not about school anymore. In vain do they put their kids in school. When in reality, you got to sell your moral compass in order for them to even give you a stove or help you. You got to sell your vote. You got to vote for them. If other than that, they won't help you. Well, I refuse to vote for anybody for a stove or a refrigerator or a gas tank or for anybody to do absolutely anything for me. If it doesn't come out of your heart and you don't see the need, I don't want your help. And that's the difference between me and everyone else. I don't need a motive to help no one. All I need is to hear the words, I need your help. How can I help you? There's not that many people willing to help people out of their heart anymore. Everything has a price. And if you put a price over kindness, then you are damning yourself, because that's what you're worth. And in reality, life is too precious not to defend it. And I just don't understand how far we're going to go. How much destruction do we need before our hearts fall in the right place? Because there's one or two things that's going to happen. Either you're going to back down and you're going to cry your eyes out and ask for forgiveness, or you're going to rebel and you're going to join this, agendas being promoted, and you're going to think that this is your right, and you're going to think that you are doing justice and that you are doing the right thing, when in reality you are damning yourself. For we are not called to war. We are not called to war. We are not called to shed blood. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, and those shall not kill. Many people just don't understand that, and I don't know how else to say it to people, that names matter. This Jesus character, this religion, this fabrication is going to damn many people. And then you're going to wonder why every heart is going to fall out of fear when they see him coming. Because you've been worshiping the wrong thing. Because you've been deceiving to thinking that something is when it's not. Because you choose to sit down and listen to a script instead of seeking the scriptures out for yourself. You cannot predict what has already been written, my friends. Sorry, I disagree, and I refuse to join. Damn the man that believes in a man, for he's only flesh. He can't save no one. He needs salvation himself. Think about that. Why must you die young before your time, my friends? Which part of the wages of sin is death? Which part of wages do you not understand? Wages, recompense, payment, your recompense, your wages of sin is death. That's why your children are dying. Yet you want me to feel sorry for the devil. You want to have sympathy for Satan. Oh my gosh, he died so young, but what was he involved in? Look at the crowd he kept. Did he separate himself? No, he wanted to be like his hero. Well, you want to be like your hero? You will die like your hero. Often blood demands blood. When are we going to understand that? When are we going to understand that the devil is playing a game with the souls of men? When are we going to understand that he's playing them against each other? When are we going to understand that people are killing each other for a game? And when they reach the afterlife, there's no salvation. There's no repentance. There's absolutely nothing but damnation. You have lost your chances. You were deceived. People were trying to tell you crime doesn't pay, and you didn't listen. Wages, recompense of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. It's truly remarkable, astonishing, the things that I'm looking at. Because it's just like there's just no way that I can go along with absolutely anything that has been presented within the last 9 years. Absolutely nothing. It's derail. It's truly disturbing, and people don't see it. Let's go over the numbers for the event that just took place. 7/13, 2024. We have already spoken about the number 13, and you already know that the number 13 stands for the master of this world, which is apostasy, depravity, and rebellion. You already know that this is Satan's number. It identifies him. It's his calling card. Wherever this number is found, you best to believe his spirit is right there, manifesting itself. Nonetheless, we got the month 7, which is resurrection, spiritual completeness from the Father, which is number 13. Then we have 2024, which is the number 8, which is new birth and a new beginning. I already explained what resurrection and a new birth means. And I already explained what resurrection and a new beginning means on behalf of scriptural meanings. Nonetheless, if you go back to my video where I'm talking about the timeline and the last 7 years foretelling the end, you need to understand that I stated that 2024 is a selective year. It's a year of decisive selection. Of course, is the selection year. It's the year where we select. Nonetheless, I told you guys that this year, in that video, I told you guys that this year, it would be decisive. So something is bound to happen. We have been hearing for the last 2 years that it has already been predicted that his life was going to be threatened. Nonetheless, we already seen the cards, and we know that enough is enough is an agenda of its own. So we need to follow, because when everybody joins in, you need to understand what is an agenda. When we take the 7, the 1, the 3, the 2, the 0, the 2, and the 4, it totals 19. The number 19 is the number for faith. And we need to understand that number 13, which is the master of this world, he's under faith. Because that is what he is coming against. You just don't see it, but it is. Nonetheless, when we look at 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. We have a testimony, we have law, and we have a responsibility here. Whenever you see that, that means that there's an action that is going to be done that requires a testimony, something that was already done, that's going to bring forth whatever they're going to do. It needs to be according to the law, which is the law of them, which are running the show, and it needs to be responsible. So that means that you have a responsibility. Nonetheless, we saw that. We saw it all play out. Okay, and we saw the delay, which is the responsibility. You're responsible for delay. The law. We are not going to pay attention to those that are reporting. So we're going to ignore. And the testimony. We know what is going on, and we are in accordance, and we are willing to hide it. So this was a problem reaction solution, but it was also more aimed at, they want to know how many people are aboard. So we saw that after this action, they started the blaming game. So they're trying to fuel the perception of men in leading it to the next phase. What is the next phase? Well, the next phase is another agenda which has to do, and it will involve the selection process. So you can successfully expect something. This is a foreshadow, just as barrel is a foreshadow of the catastrophe that the weather is going to do, considering that we have a war going on between the whites and the blacks, and considering that they already have their blueprint, and we are most definitely dealing with doubles, then we need to understand that we are in an internal war for power and control. And for a very, very short period, it's going to seem like man is ruling himself, and everything is going according to his wishes. But in reality, it is not. It's just a short period of a calm before the storm of communism that's going to come upon everyone. We'll get to that. Hold on to that thought. Nonetheless, we're still on 7/13/2024. So then, we have to think. What are they trying to distract us from? Why was the reaction time so delayed? And since when you hear firecrackers, does everybody just huddle down instead of dispersing? And how much of what we are shown is actual truth versus a script? Okay. Well, the first 48 hours or the first 24 to 48 hours is where the truth is found. After that, the truth is eaten away and replaced by duplicities, lies, and things that don't make absolutely no sense. So we already know that. So we're in accordance that there's something very wrong with this. We're in accordance that the testimony, the law, and the responsibility that carry with such, traumatic experience was not what we are accustomed to see. So we got a problem with reaction time from people. So I'm questioning how much of what we're looking at is actual real. Because I'm looking at a lot of confusion where there should not be no confusion, because it's clear what we're looking at. We're looking at firecrackers, and they are being ignited. So we need to understand that. We got people looking side to side, not knowing what the heck is going on. And we got some that are being moved out of the way. And then we got 88 saying it's time to dodge. And then we got 88 saying, hold on a second, delaying his extraction from the danger zone. And then we got him saying, like, sure, what is this? Another January 6th? I mean, I hope people aren't falling for the bait. Alright. Okay. I have to say, I have never been a fan of James Bond, nor of his movies. But I do have to say, James Bond forms a better human shield than anything I have ever seen within the last 3 or 4 months. It's just a thought. Sorry. Very out loud. Then we look at this, and I'm looking at a 9/11. Yes. A 9/11 on 7/13/2024. I'm looking at a code of 9/11. We already know what a 9/11 code is. We're not dealing with dates. We're dealing with codes. We already know what a 9/11 code is. Why am I looking at a 9/11 code on a 7/13/2024 event? Why? If it's not a foreshadow for something to come. After this incident, instead of 88 gaining sympathy, 88 lost supporters. So he's becoming the least popular candidate, which has the potential to win. Okay. So far we're following a game. Then we got Agenda 47, which is at 11. 4 plus 7 is 11. And then we are made aware of, which is nothing new, but everybody just all of a sudden just jumped on it. Project 2025, which is the number 9. What did I say about the year 2025 in my video when it came to the timeline? I said that by 2025 we should be seeing action. And this is a blueprint for the destruction of every single human being that will be exposed and subjected to this madness. And it sounds good. And they are one of the same. And when you read it, you start to question what is going on here. Because I told you guys, he's bringing disorder and judgment. And this is exactly what it stands for. Disorder and judgment. And it's final. Final. 9 is the number for finality. Finality of who? Flip it around. Number 6. Weakness of men, manifestation of sin, and the evil of Satan. They are attempting to get rid of this evil that they consider, and they want to take over under their own terms. G.I. Joe wants to take out Cobra, indefinite, but he wants to take over Cobra's operation. But Cobra needs to go. So he's willing to do away with Cobra and take over his operations and manipulate them according to his own gain. That's what we're looking at. That's exactly what we're seeing. And there's another 9/11 coming, because 47 and 2025 equals 9/11, because 4 plus 7 is 11, and that's the Agenda 47, which is alluring to the presidency of 88 under number 47. And then we got Project 2025, which is the number 9. So we got a 9/11 just on these two, which are one of the same, which have to do with that who is going to lead after the 2024 elections, who is going to be subjected to this project and this agenda, which is him, which he is doing a very bad job at distancing himself after he praises things. One of the things that I have noticed is evil likes to contradict itself. There's always a contradiction where evil will tell you, I do not know cheese. So do you know cheese? No. I don't. I never met him. Do you know what it tastes like? I didn't even know cheese was something you ate. What does it taste like? I wonder. Excuse me. You're eating cheese. No way! Yeah, I'm drinking coffee too. Seriously. He's a devil's advocate. He's such a damn good one too. I told you guys he's the exception. I told you guys this is the exception. This is a man that's exceptional. He got my attention because he's exceptional. You see, what Obama couldn't do, this man did. Yeah, I grew up with this man. Which New Yorker doesn't know Donald Trump? You're not a New Yorker. Nonetheless, I never thought in a million years I'll be talking about this man. The moral of the story is that while everybody is doing their little charade, while everybody is sharing their astonishing opinions, while everybody is questioning and wondering, I am allowing the numbers to speak for themselves, because I trust the numbers more than what my eyes are showing me, because my eyes are 99.9% deceiving me. And to be honest with you, when I seen that, I said, oh my goodness, on the Sabbath, how depraved. Not only that, look at the circus madness. Like, do I look like at my 50 years I suck my thumb? Do I look like I suck my thumb? Like, I just started asking myself, these people think that we're children. These people that think that our brain is this puny. Like, these people can't possibly be human, because they are underestimating us in a big, gigantic way. Nonetheless, the day has an encrypted 911 in it. Okay? And the number 1 stands for the unity and the new beginning that they want to bring forth, which is the Agenda 47 and the Project 2025, which sounds really good, but in reality, this is a blueprint for a revolution that no one will be writing about, and no one will remember it, because those that have the capability of writing it won't survive it. Nonetheless, our Heavenly Father is telling us, why must you die young before your time? Number 1. Number 2, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. And number 3, do not allow any man to deceive you by any means. Which part of that you don't understand? I'm asking people to think twice before believing whatever it is that people are showing you. And I need you to really dissect the words when you are reading about these 2 agendas. Because in reality, they are very disturbing. And when you really read this, you are going to start to see rivers of blood flowing. And you are going to start to see that these people do not have humanity's best interest at heart, and these people want to do away with absolutely everything to give us a sense of hope and a sense of freedom and a sense of, light and goodness that doesn't really exist. So in reality, they have caused a problem. They have compromised people, and now they are about to come against these people. That's what I see. That's the only way I can sum it up. It's no different than creating a junkie and then afterwards trying to rehabilitate the junkie, but because you don't want to spend the resources or the time and give them a chance, you prefer to euthanize them. That's basically what I'm looking at. When you read these 2 agendas, you start to recognize that bloodshed is coming, that a war is coming, and you start to recognize that apostasy, depravity, and rebellion is coming in a level that is going to be incomprehensible as to why people are dying, and there will be no other logic than demons taking over, because that's exactly what we're dealing with. Anybody that commits murder, anybody that's under murders and violence and atrocities against other people, you are being demonically possessed and derived by a demon. And to be honest with you, there's just no other way. Blood demands blood. Atrocities demand atrocity. And our children are dying young and we don't understand it. The wages of sin is death. That's why. Because you think that you are better than everyone, yet you shop at the same exact spot as everybody else. You think you're better than one, but your shit stinks just as everybody else. You think you're better than everybody, but you eat the same exact thing that everybody else does. You think you're better than everybody, but you use the bathroom just like everybody else. So I don't understand. I really don't. Something is not right with the mentality of people. Because nobody's better than absolutely anybody. We're all struggling. And we all different minds. We all living our lives the way we want to live our lives. It's time to think twice when you're listening to these people. Because this Agenda 2025 is a book of over 920 pages and 30 chapters. And since 1973, they've been working on this. This is not new. This is a blueprint. You also need to understand that 920 equals 911. Because you got the 11 right there. They're giving us so many hints. It's not even funny. It really isn't. 920 is 11. And 2025 is a 9. You got a 911 right there. 2025. Agenda 2025. 9. On 920 pages on a 30 chapter book. 11. Then you got the 1973 and the law of the 1981 mandates for leadership on Reagan's time and policy, which was implemented from this book. This isn't new. The only thing is that we didn't see, so much, chance and duplicity when Reagan was, almost knocked out. And we didn't see no, bullying card being played. We didn't see any, none of that. Now all of a sudden everything is bullying. Everything is like, he's a loner, this and that. Making excuses for people's behavior. Like, really? Good luck with that. Seriously. 1973 equals 20, which is redemption. We need to understand that 19 is under faith and 20 is under redemption. When you see numbers like that, you have to think on the spiritual level, because we are dealing with a spirit of lawlessness embedded in deceiving men. Nonetheless, it's pure deception what's going to be brought forth. It's pure disorder and judgment under apostasy, depravity, and rebellion. And I can't not deny nor confirm the simple fact that what I am looking at on these two things, just the date and the Agenda 47 and the Project 2025, just on the numbers alone, I'm looking at two 9/11s. One is a hidden 9/11 under the date of 7/13/2024, which is a foreshadow, and then one is the actual 9/11 code under these two when put together. But if you read, they are one of the same. I will put that under the description box, and you can seek out the whole entire 920 pages and the 30 chapters. I'm just going to put the short aspect of it, but nonetheless, this is disturbing. What I'm reading is disturbing. It's not good. It's truly, it needs a closer look. You really need to think twice about this. This is a false sense of security. You going to feel like you're in control, but you're really not in control. And sudden destruction is coming. Sudden dictatorship is coming. This is a plan for a total dictatorship to take over. This sounds more like a dictatorship plan than a plan to actually dissolve the evil and bring forth goodness. Goodness is not involved in this. This is pure apostasy, depravity, and rebellion in a level of spiritual wickedness, leading the souls of men into a bondage that is non-refundable, no return from. This is final, and this is going to go through. And that's the sad part about it. Expect it, because it's coming. How is it going to manifest itself? I don't know. But just think about all the 9/11s that we've had in the past, and you're probably going to get a magnification of times 10, and you'll get an idea of how bad it is. So nonetheless, the weather has been weaponized. You need to understand that. They have the possibility to create a monster and a combination of different things depending on the area that is being targeted. And Barrow is a living testimony that a tornado hurricane is possible. Nonetheless, these things aim to destroy, flood, and destabilize anything and everything that is flat, and it's by design. It's time to really pay attention, because in reality, the next thing that's going to be weaponized is going to be food. And And as opposed to what have been said in the past, that we're gonna go to them, that they're gonna come for us. No, we're gonna go to them. The catastrophes are gonna be that high. The fear is gonna be that high that we are going to go to them, because they're gonna have the resources that we are going to need, and nobody's going to want to fend for themselves, because the majority of people don't have that ability. The only thing I can tell you is, and my best advice is, prepare yourselves emotionally, spiritually, physically. Get whatever it is that you're going to need. Have enough at hand that you will not have to run, like a chicken without a head. You need to understand that the things that are happening is globally. There's not a safe place. There's not a place that I can tell you, you could go here, you could go there. No, the only place that we can be is in righteousness, in the arms of Yahuwah, our Heavenly Father, who created us in His image, who gave us His commandments, and who sealed us with His Sabbath, and through obedience we serve Him, and His Son, YAHUSHUA, that has liberated us and has purchased us at the price of blood. No other name is going to suffice. We are to hold our integrity, and we are to solidify our foundation. We need to understand that with every catastrophe, we are to learn our weakest point, and we are to reinforce them. Nonetheless, we are not to conquer through war. We are to conquer through love. Where there's love, there cannot be no evil. And we are to be faithful until death. Until next time, everyone, I'm going to put everything I got to put under the description box. I'm going to put the agenda and the 2025. You have to seek it out. This is just a rough draft. Like, this is not even the whole entire thing. This is just, just basically a rough draft, going over the different key points. And I am telling you, I'm not shocked. This is expected. Worse things are to come. I feel that great rebellion is coming, and it's going to be every man for himself, and they're looking for an opportunity for them to usher chaos upon us, and for them to take total control. Nonetheless, excuse me. Nonetheless, the timeline is moving along perfectly. We are no longer in our timeline. We are in our Heavenly Father's timeline, and it's time to pay attention. I hope that you see the writing on the wall, and I hope that you take my advice. Until next time, everyone, Yah bless your path into truth always, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you all real soon. Take care, everyone. We will continue to be vigilant, and we will continue to observe. Nonetheless, I'm warning you, there's a 9/11 coming, and I'm looking at the numbers. They're hidden in the date of the incident of 7/13/2024, and they are staring at you right there on the 2025 and the 47 agenda. These two agendas are one of the same. And the orchestration, the entity behind these two agendas is number 88. And he's sure he's going to win. Yet, he has lost supporters after this incident, alluring that people are catching up to something. What that is remains to be seen. I'm only looking at the numbers, because my eyes are deceiving me when I look at these people. So y'all already know what I'm trying to tell you. I trust the numbers better than I do these people, because the numbers haven't let me down yet. The numbers are a calling card. They're evidence. They speak. When they speak, they're never wrong. There's no mistake, because this is what they use to guide themselves. So we need to learn to interpret their language so that we are not deceived. Until next time, Yah bless your path into the truth always, and I'll see you all soon. Stay vigilant, people. Do not sleep. Stay on alert.